Everybody, welcome back. Thanks for watching. I'm going to give you all a quick weekly update of what's been going on with the Nova. So this week I wired up the lights, the headlights, tail lights. I had to readjust the front headlight buckets. I didn't like the way they were. I got a video on that, or clip on that. Put a kill switch on it, mounted the seats, seat belts, and I switched out the tack because the tack wasn't working. So at this point, I found a spot where I'm gonna go test and check it out. I also did another burnout here in the driveway, just to kind of see how it goes from first to second gear, in the burnout, and I'll put a clip of that in here. It did a pretty good job. In second gear, after the burnout, you can see it dead hooked, which is good. First gear, it spun, taking off, after the burnout, after the tires were hot. And I talked to a buddy. I wasn't sure the back tires. Doing a burnout here in the driveway, the back tires, I bought these used, and I wasn't sure about them. They're like a year and a half old, but I didn't know if, I don't know, maybe they've been sitting for too long. But what's happening is, in the burnout, it's like the tire that's coming off is powdering. And I talked to a buddy, and he's like, look, it does the same thing on my race car in the driveway. He said, go put it on the street or go put it on a different surface. He's like, there's something about the concrete on driveway where it just powders the dust. So if y'all have an opinion on that, please say something in the comments, because that kind of throws me off, and it doesn't put a good patch down. I know, like, if you go to the track or something, or do a burnout somewhere else, a lot of times the rubber will like ball up, and these tires just aren't doing that. Now my friend's like, hey, it's not the tires, it's the driveway. And so if y'all have any experience with that, please let me know. Please fill me in, because I'm uneducated on it. I'd like to be, but we'll go ahead and get to some of the content. And like I said, thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you again at the end. Alright, so next thing we're going to try tackling is getting the seat mounted in here. And we'll get the other one mounted too here in a minute. So I wanted to point something out. There's some kind of I don't know, let's see if you can see this. It's like a material welded to the bottom of these seats. So I don't necessarily think I want to use this. I guess it is the same size material. I don't know, we'll see. I may have to drill new holes in these brackets right here to make all this work. But I wanted to show you this. This floor already looks like a piece of Swiss cheese. However, when I put the seat in here, none of these holes or these holes line up. And I don't want to bolt straight to this, because I believe this is aluminum. This is like really thin. You can see right here where it's kind of like already pulled through at one point in time. I don't know, you see that? Right there. So, and then it's like indented right here where I guess maybe the old seat set. I don't know. However, these holes are, they're too far over. My leg hits this tunnel whenever they're over there. So, I'll show you the bottom side so you get a better idea of what I'm talking about here. Alright, so they already welded these tabs on here to mount the seat to, the front and back ones. Like I said, none of my stuff lines up with those. I don't know what that's for. That's interesting. So anyways, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try to drill into this bar right here, you can see a pretty good impression on the top side. So this bar actually lines up a little better with the seat bracket. So what I may try to do is drill a hole and then put a marker in here and trace. And see, I have some fender washers for 3/8 bolts. And then the next thing we'll have to do is figure out how we're going to do the seat belts. I'm not sure. Maybe a bar on the roll cage. Weld the bar in. Not really sure. Show you, it's hard for me to get all this in frame, okay, but we got the seat mounted down. I went ahead and put my seat cover back on. Now these seat covers, man, I bought these at the swap meet and they really don't fit these seats. They're for like the older style seats, and it's like a newer style seat. I say newer, it might be completely different now, but they're two different. So one of the things, and I've seen this a bunch over the years, this seat cover, if you can see right here, like I'm pushing down on it and it doesn't actually hit the bottom of the seat. So I have it screwed in up here where it's supposed to, the seam goes across the top, right? But it's too short, so the seat cover really doesn't fit that well. So what I'm going to do is, I have this, let's see, you can't see, there it is, it focused. I have this cushion that came off of, I don't know, a piece of outdoor furniture used to lay on and stuff like that. However, I'm fixing to, I say lay on whenever I'm working on stuff out in the yard instead of just throwing it away. I'm going to take this piece of foam that's in here and cut it down to fit maybe up the back a little bit, like right here in this area. So I'm going to do that. Alright, so we got the seat mounted, got seat belts installed. I put that little foam in there. I don't know. The seat fits a little better, or the cover fits a little better than it did. But the next thing we're going to do is, I got this kill switch. AutoZone had these on sale. They were like, I guess they discontinued them or whatnot. You know, it's power disconnect. Now, this car had one on it. You see that? And it shorted out. So let me say this first. I know these are supposed to go on the ground side, but this one's hooked on the power side. Now I don't know what the difference is, between ground and power. I know it's supposed to go on the ground. However, I'll eventually do that. But for now, I'm gonna put a hole right here on this bumper and mount this thing, because that's what I have room for my cables, as far as my cables go. Alright y'all, so the next thing I'm going to do is, this is a pretty cool attack. It's a Mallory. Let's see if we can get it zoomed in here. I picked up the swap meet here a while back. I thought it was really cool. It has a built-in rev limiter and a shift light. The little shift light's right down here. However, this thing doesn't work. It shorts out the ignition, so there's something wrong with it. I don't really know what it is. So what I'll probably do is hang it on the shelf. I really like it. I think it's cool. It's not super old, but it's pretty cool. However, I'm a little short on like 5-inch tacks right now, because whenever I get them, I put them on eBay, sell them, and use that to fund our projects. However, I do have this little Tachometer. It's about the same size. Now, what I'll do is unbolt it here, unbolt this Mallory, and I will take, if you've ever had one of these, you know there's a little slot right here so you can worm clamp it to a steering wheel. I'm going to take and worm clamp this tack to this mount, and I'm going to tighten that mount up while I'm there. That way I have some sort of tack in here. So let's get to it. Alright everybody, so we got the tack hooked up. See, I put this all mounted pretty solid. I had to replace the screw. I got like 6,000, 6,500 pretty close straight up. So once out of the corner of my eye I see this needle, I know we're in a shift. Eventually I like to switch it out with a shift light tack. That way I know for sure. Help with my consistency. Got the signal wire, power wire, all that hooked up. So let's see what happens. Alright, we got that. See if we get it fired up. So yeah, alright, it all works pretty good. Let's see if we can get that back down to 0. No, wrong. There it is. Cool, so now we have a tack. On to the next thing. My light's hooked up, right? There's a switch. This little light comes on, tells me it's on. This is nothing. This is my line lock, so you can hear it clicking. Alright, this is my ignition. Now this is actually my fan. I don't have a water pump, so I don't have it hooked up to anything. But this is actually my fan. So look, watch whenever I turn this on. Y'all hear the fan? Now watch whenever I turn it off. The light stays on. And as the fan slows down, the light dims. So that tells me that that fan could actually be used as like a wind turbine. It's kind of cool, right? Okay, so here's the headlights. This is what I was talking about. If you can see this headlight, it sticks out probably half an inch or so. I mean, it's supposed to sit back up in here. And these aren't these rings are the right rings, but these buckets are not the right buckets for this car. It's like something somebody had on the shelf and they just kind of screwed them in there. I'll do a time lapse of how I had to take it all apart. But I did do this side and I didn't do a very terrific job, but if you can see, like, they done cut all this bucket out to fit the way they had it rigged up. And I just honestly think it looks a little better, but I do need to find a set of buckets and new rings. I really need to look for all the grill pieces for this car so that you know, and I'll get them eventually. So however, they do have a good headlight in it. It's like a H7 bulb. You can see how much they cut out at the top up here. Like, this came down, and the headlight could probably go up a little bit more. But what I did is I took the bucket out. There's a hole in the back of the bucket, and then I slipped this pipe in there, drilled a hole in the core support so I could run the headlight wires through there. So look, I'll do a time lapse of how I'm going to do this side. Alright, so we got it in there. I'm going to have to get some springs to attach this headlight ring to the headlight bucket. Now the bucket is now fixed to the core support, and I'll just put some springs on this corner and this corner to pull the headlamp back up. Now if you notice, all this was held together with self-tappers. I went ahead and put self-tappers back in here and here and then here, because this ring doesn't actually fit this bucket either. Like I said, I'll have to go and find. There's a couple little pieces on the other parts car, but there's no buckets, no trim rings, no grill. I think these little pieces and then a couple other of the core support pieces are in there. But I'll find them at the swap meet eventually, but for now this will work. Like I said, these are H7 or maybe H1 bulbs, I don't know. But I guess now we'll go ahead and finish wiring up the headlights. We're kind of in a rainstorm right now. Lights are flickering. Alright, let's get to it. Here's the back side of the headlight. You can see where the bulb goes in. I done made up this little pigtail for it. We're just going to plug it in just like this. This will be our ground. I wired it straight to the high beams. So we're going to get us a little wire here. Cut it. Extra wire. Strip it. Now I do want to say a couple things. I'm probably echoing in here. On all my wiring, I try to use these heat shrink connectors. You find these at any part store. I think even Walmart has these nowadays. Now, rain's getting bad. I do want to say something else. Your crimpers or wire strippers, this is a really good brand. It's VACO, V-A-C-O. They're made in the USA, number 1800. Look, these are like the best wire strippers I've found. And look, I buy most of my tools from a pawn shop, and I bought these at a pawn shop, and look how thick they are compared to like the ones you get in little kit. These things are like I don't know, 1/8 inch or so, but they're really thick, and they make a nice crimp. They actually have like it's almost like it's sharpened right here. Makes a nice like square, professional looking crimp. And I really like them. I have these and I have a pair of Nip-X, but I keep those in another toolbox in the 55 in case I need to fix something on the road. But you can see they're really good. Now the other thing is they don't sell these heat shrinks with a 16 to 20 gauge wire in the red ones for a ringlet. Now they do, you have to order them. I haven't had time to order them. So I've noticed they started selling these builder series. And usually what I will do is if I can't find the heat shrink one, I will take a regular like one with a little plastic right here, and I will cut that plastic off, put a piece of heat shrink on. However, they put that in a kit form now. So I don't know, it works pretty good. Now I'm gonna find a spot to ground it, since I have all these extra self-tappers from the headlights. I'll just use one to ground this bucket. That would be good. So now we should have lights. I'm gonna go in and find my lighter real quick. I'll go ahead and heat this up and shrink it down. That way it's all a sealed connection at this point. I don't have to worry about water getting in there or anything like that and corroding the terminal, creating shorts. Everything wired up. I got my assistant in the car. Go ahead and hit the switch. Turn the switch on. Let's see what the headlights do. Oh yeah, we got headlights. Alright, go ahead and leave it on. And then I believe we should have tail lights also. Like I said, it's raining. Oh yeah, go ahead and hit the brakes. Push them hard. Oh yeah, we got brake lights. So we got headlights, tail lights, brake lights. We are in good shape. Go ahead, kill the switch. Turn it off. Alright, so the next thing I'm gonna do is check the amperage, or how much DC current this thing's pulling. I tried it earlier with one. It was like 7 amps. So hopefully that other headlight doesn't give too many amps. So I'm gonna check that, and I'll give y'all an update on that here in a minute. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Thank y'all for staying tuned and watching till the end. Like I said, we got our to-do list finished up. So maybe this evening, I'll go and try to put in a couple test hits. I'll try to get some footage of it. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that since I'm, by myself. But I think I have a spot where I can set the camera up and get y'all some good footage of that. And then next weekend, I'm going to try to go to, let's see, October the 8th, October the 8th, which is about 3 weeks from now. There is Vintage Drags and Temple at Little River Dragway. So I want to try to take this car there. But before that, I want to make sure, now that race is on a bracket system. So I know nothing about this car. I have no seat time in it. But I would like to take this car rather than the 55. I do have pretty good, I got a lot of seat time in the 55, and I know what it runs for the most part. So it'd probably be better off for me to take that, and I may, but I'd really like to take this one since this is what I'm setting this car up for, so I can get some seat time. And there's no, I think it's like a $250 pot or something like that, but really it's a good time. I'm gonna bring you all along. We'll get some good footage of it. I'm trying to take somebody with me to help me do some cameras, do the camera. That way we get a lot of footage of it. So y'all be looking forward to that. But before that race, maybe next weekend or the following weekend, I'd like to go to the track and just see how it techs, because like I said, I have that crack on the windshield. I don't know how they're gonna I don't know if they'll pass that at tech or not. And so that'll kind of be my deciding on factor on whether I take this car. If this car will pass tech, which I think it should, all besides that crack, we'll take this car. But if not, we'll get the 55 ready. We'll go ahead and get it out and do some testing on it. And there's a couple things I'd like to do before we take it to the track. Anyways, we'll see. So maybe not next weekend or the following weekend, I'll get up there. It's about a 3-hour drive from here, so it's a pretty good little jaunt. Well, I do have a house about 30 minutes from that track, so we may go up there for the weekend, get some stuff ready for deer season, and do some testing. But I want to thank you all for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, comment. Please comment. That way I can know how y'all feel about things. Give me some advice. And I appreciate it. And we'll see you back next time. Thank you.